What's up, everybody? This is Bill Bellamy, and you are a part of Top Billin', the #1 podcast in the country, taking the nation by storm, the place for the culture, the place for the movement, the place for discussion. We're right here on Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood, California. Today's guest is born and raised in South Central LA. He's a legend out of the Bay. How did he make that transition? We will find out. Came on the scene in '87 with Born to Mac. He has not took the foot off the gas pedal, blow the whistle. 20 solo rap albums out the crate. I don't know what else I can say, but my good friend, legendary Too Short's in the building, baby. What's good? You got to be Top Billy. You understand? You official Top Billy. Like, there's no way I can have a show called Top Billy and you ain't in here. That didn't make no damn sense.
Well, you know, we've been seeing each other in the VIP for like a minute now.
20 years. Every VIP and you win. So we've been Top Billy for a minute. Hey, man, love you. Thank you for stopping by, Short. We gotta talk about this, man. And this is the fun part before we get into our interview, right? Everybody know me as how to be a player, okay? And you like literally how to be a pimp. Now, like relatively, because you've been pimping this game, right?
I've been rapping about how to be a pimp.
Real talk now, if we were to do a movie, it'd be crazy, but how about this? Who's got more skills, though? Is it the player or the pimp?
My answer would have to be the most skillful person is the one who knows how to be a pimp and a player.
Okay.
At the same time.
Oh, so it's a collabo. Okay, that's how we do it. So you need to be able to pimp. Now tell me what's the difference between a pimp and a player?
Because if you put them up against each other, a super pimp and a super player would cancel each other out on benefits because the super pimp, he's, you know, he getting his toes done and shit. They rolling his joints, he in the bed. He don't even got to touch the remote control. You know what I'm saying?
He got his hoes doing everything.
The super player, he got a super fly date every night. He getting, you know, this blowjobs from the baddest supermodels and the hottest chick in the club. Like he living a life. But if you just happen to be both, that's what I think you the guy with the skills. Cause look, take the pimp.
Okay, go.
He got to stay hard on the bitch, man. He can't really ever let up and just have a good time.
He can't
with the
enjoy
bitch.
his women.
Like you can, but that's like a treat for it. Like you can't really just every day just go out and have laughs and a drink with the bitch. The bitch got to be hard on the boulevard getting money, and you got to be on her like this is a business.
Right.
So he's basically not really like
enjoying his fruits.
Yeah,
of his
he can't really indulge and be like every night like he hitting it because it's the product. Like you can't just hit the product.
Okay.
So he got to be hard on the boulevard just like her. Get to work and he stay on her to be at work. But the player on the flip side, you know what I'm saying, man, he gets to kind of enjoy the candy and the fun and all that shit. So I say in order for you to be the best, it would have to be a combination of us. We'd have to turn into one super nigga.
He said we had to turn into one super nigga.
It'd be the pimp and the player, you know what I'm saying?
That might be the next Super Marvel movie, man. Oh my God, bro. Thank you for being on Top Billin'. I have to say that ever since I came on the scene in the early 90s, we've been friends and cool. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I guess game recognized game because you always been a cool ass dude, down to earth. I just wanted to always ask you this question. How did you be one of the most prolific people to really take the Bay Area and lift it like that? Was it just timing or it was purposeful?
Well, like you said, when we came on, I was born in LA. I was born on Sunset Boulevard at Kaiser Hospital down the street.
Okay.
And when I was right after 9th grade, I moved to Oakland.
Okay.
And went to high school. I started high school in Oakland and kind of, you know, I was a little kid when I was out here.
Okay.
You know, I was ahead of grade too, so I was 13, like just going on 14 when I moved. And I kind of like, you know, what I got from LA as a kid has always been a part of how I move.
Okay.
Because LA's a big city.
Absolutely.
And you can only move certain ways. Coming up around here and just going from neighborhood to neighborhood and school to school, like there's a lot of rules that don't apply in other places, and as it doesn't in Oakland. But when I got to Oakland, that's when I came up with Too Short. That's when I started rapping.
Okay.
That's when I became a man. Everything I learned from there is what I came to be.
Absolutely.
So I was born in LA, but I got the game from Oakland. No doubt about it.
Okay, now, bona fide. Now, how did you come up with the name Too Short?
Too Short was a name they used to make fun of me, man. I was really short. And my brother and his friends.
I wouldn't think you was gonna say that.
Yeah, it was a joke at first. Like my brother and his friends, they used to call me Short.
Okay.
Cause like you call a little nigga Shorty.
Right.
Hey, little Shorty. But
Right.
I was just short. They was like, nigga, we can't even think.
We can't even think of nothing to mess with
So
you.
my real name is Todd, right? So
Right.
I get to high school, they like, nigga, it's one thing that's not gonna happen. We're not calling you Todd.
At all.
So we standing around a bunch of dudes, they're like, we gotta come with a nickname for this little dude. And they like, man, I can't think of nothing, man. He's just short. And they just thought that was the funniest thing in the world. So they called me Short. That was the name. I didn't like it at all.
Right.
And I saw this movie, Penitentiary. With
Too Short was in there.
Leon Kennedy was playing Too Sweet.
Too Sweet.
And I was like, okay, I'll put the 2 on that because Leon was getting all the bras, beating everybody up. Like,
In jail.
So yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna put the 2 on there, and I flipped it. I started rapping. I had to go get a little hat made that said Too Short on it.
Oh yeah.
And then what I did, my brother and them, they older than me, so they not really gonna accept my intro with it.
Okay.
So what I did, I just went around their back and I got Too Short popular. And they had to roll with it, man.
Man, it is so synonymous with who you are. Like it's so cool, like how you turned something that could have been sort of like a diss or somebody to make you feel bad, but you found a way to flip it, and now it is huge. Your brand, it's a brand now.
It's who I am. Like, yeah, I could have been like, if my nickname was like Turtle or something,
right?
And not because I was slow, or not because I was green, or not because I smoked weed, but you look like a turtle, nigga.
Right? Nah, but sure, you always been you always have this like, this sort of like, it's a pimp vibe, but it's also like cool ass motherfuckers type shit.
I told you, I strive to be the pimp and the player. It's a very hard thing to do.
And you battle both sides of the game.
Exactly. They cross each other out. They cancel each other out. 2 negatives, 2 positive, whatever. But I try, man. I try. And then, I'm gonna tell you something else that worked in my favor too.
What's that?
When I was in high school, I got my driver's license when I was 16.
Okay.
My first driver's license said I was 5'2". When I was 19 years old, I was 5'2". The summer after my 19th birthday, I grew 6 inches. So all the niggas that went to high school with me with the short, they're like, bruh, how you get up there? Like
you had a late growth sport.
Yeah, I left high school 5'2".
You lying. And you went to super stretch school and they stretched your ass. And
they be like, yo, you got a little money and bought you some height. How you get up there, man? Like,
hey, I'm standing on my money, homie. So real quick, I was gonna call you because I was mad when I heard this, right? And I said, man, don't tell me my brother retired. I never forget where I was when you said you was retired for rap. I'm done.
Never.
Bro, I was about to call you and cuss you out, bro. I was mad as hell. What made you even say that, man? I'm tight. I was tight.
So back in them days, it was a vibe in hip hop that was like, if you're 30 something, you a old ass man rapping.
Okay.
Like that was out there, and I kind of was feeding into it. I turned 30, and I'm like, man, I'm not about to be the 30-something-year-old rapper because I'm
like an old rapper, right?
Like the OGs are now the originators. They're now in their 60s. I'm well into my 50s, man. I'm 56.
Okay.
And I'm a little bit older than most rappers.
Right, the new rappers, relatively.
The wave of the fame of, I'm talking about even like the golden era of the late 80s, early 90s. I'm a little bit older than most guys I come on. If I don't got them by 1 or 2, I got them by 5 or more,
Right.
A lot of your favorite rappers. And which makes me the OG.
Yeah, me too. Like I kind of slipped into the OG status recently, and at first I was kind of hot because I'm like, I ain't no OG, but then I was like, kind of like it's kind of dope to be an OG because it's respected. You don't put in your work, and people love you. So it's actually kind of cool, and you lived long enough to be OG.
So as a black man, and you made it. You still here. Like, man, that's a thing.
And you keep yourself relevant, man. It's amazing how many people you have worked with, man, from Lady Gaga to Snoop to Scarface, UGK. I mean, your list goes on. Then you got artists like Drake taking one of your biggest songs and flipping it, and it just created another wave for you. So it's like, how do you make collaborations like that as an artist? I don't know how that works.
So you're a comedian, you're an actor, and you know the value of, let me put in a real scenario for you. You got your significant other that you're really into, and you got to keep explaining or just put it on the table that I got to move around. Like, I'm not moving around for any other reason than when I go out and I walk in a room and I'm someplace, things happen. Like, you bump into people that networking, you know what I'm saying? They're
Absolutely.
like, bro, I got a role for you. Bro, come do this club. I got a promoter might bump you. Like, man, I want to do 5 dates with you. Like, if you stayed home that night.
They wouldn't have never seen you.
Yeah, and if you kind of get into that, I'm going to stay in the house all the time vibe. Yeah, we definitely on Hollywood Blvd.
Yes, we are.
If you get into that I'm gonna stay home kind of vibe, you better have like some mailbox money or something, man. Like you better have a Beats by Dre or something. You want to stay home, because if you in this for the long run, you gotta get out and be out. And that's why you see me mixing and mingling with different producers, different artists, different situations. I'm always active, because a lot of stuff that comes my way to keep me in the game is just from me being out.
And here's the thing, and you got so much goodwill, man. You know what I'm saying? Where your fans love you, other artists love you and respect you. I have never in my entire career been in a place when Blow the Whistle came on and it didn't turn that moment into some shit. Like, I don't know how you came up with this song, what made you say blow the whistle and not the train, but whatever you did was please break down the origin of Blow the Whistle for me.
Lil Jon is the producer.
Okay.
And part of the magic is Lil Jon has a sound when he produces. That's not the sound. So you got a producer doing something customized for an artist.
Right.
He was attempting to make, and this is 2005 when we recorded it. It was released in 06. But
Okay.
in 05,
All right.
Lil Jon said, man, I'm like, play me some beats. He's like, I got beats, but I want to make a song that sound like a Too Short song that was just, lost from 10 years ago.
Right.
And we just found it, like, oh man, we got to put this out. Like, he wanted to make, because we in 2022.
Okay.
And to put this at a song that's 15 years old, more than that, and say Lil Jon was trying to make an old school Too Short song back in 05. Because I've been around a long time. So he was digging on the early 90s Too Short vibe.
Okay.
Late 80s. He was trying to just get that raw funk, that basic bass line, drums, talk some shit, the funk. And whatever he came up with, I just heard the whistles in the beat. And the whistles,
that beat is
the whistles made me, I like to come with concepts. So the concept of the song, literally, a lot of people don't get it, but the concept is I'm using sports metaphors. It's like in a sports context, but I'm talking about people who are doing too much in life. Like, you doing too many drugs, you trying to, party for too long.
Right.
And what happens when you fuck up in a game of football or basketball is they throw the flag, they blow the whistle, they call foul, and like, you fucking up.
You fucking up.
So I'm mentioning in the song.
Oh shit! I never thought of it like that.
But I mentioned in the song how you just doing way too much. I'm like, blow the whistle. Like, you can't do it like me. I could do all that shit I'm saying, but you can't.
Blow the whistle.
So you can't party for 3 days and just
and have these many hoes. Blow the whistle.
Yeah, I was gonna say fuck 72 hours straight.
Oh my God, bro! All I thought was, I like literally, and I feel so stupid right now. And I've heard the song a million times. When I hear the song, I always thought like you just doing it all night, like you partying so motherfucking hard.
But in the song I'm saying you can't do it. I say if you can't, tap out, motherfucker.
Right, blow the whistle.
Yeah.
And what's my favorite word? You the only artist that made calling a woman a bitch, and they all feel comfortable with it in the party. Bitch! Like
it's fun.
Like, how did you just say, bitch? I mean, it's the best bitch ever.
That comes from the pimp shit, though.
Back to the pimp and the player. God damn it.
So in a pimp's world,
in the pimp world,
bitch is like saying baby, like sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's like,
See, now you don't slipped into your players. You said like baby, babe.
Yeah, like, bitch, roll me a joint. She's like, okay, daddy. I hang out with a few pimp homies right now, and then I bring people around that aren't pimps or hoes, and they be like, did he just call his girlfriend bitch 8 times and she didn't say nothing? I'm like, that's her name. Shit, I don't know. Like,
I met a real pimp, man. I promise you this is a true story. So I'm at the barbershop, and there's a real pimp in there, right? And I don't know if I can say his name because he might be, whatever. But he was saying, man, I said, man, are you real pimp? He said, man, let me tell you something, Bill Bellamy. I had a bitch work for me I had one bitch to do my laundry. I had a bitch that get my businesses. I had a bitch to go get my motherfucking money. And he said, and I had a bitch to count it. I said, oh my God. I said, wow. And I asked him this question. And I said, did you ever fall in love with one of your girls? Mm-hmm. He said, man, I tell you he did this. I tell you the goddamn truth. One of my bitches went to leave me. And she said, I'm gonna say it, Daddy, I'm gone, you ain't treating me right. And I'm leaving you, and I'm gonna get me another motherfucking daddy. He said, bitch, the highway go both ways, god damn it. Well, walk on. And he said, when she started walking, he said, I started crying. He said, I didn't think that bitch was gonna walk away from me, Bill. I fell out laughing, because he was like, man, that was the only one that caught me. Did you ever like run into a situation like that?
Well, I have caught feelings, man. I mean,
everybody has, yes.
You know, we human, and in the pimp world, I think in the big picture of things, you know what I'm saying, you got to have an exit plan. She does, and you do too. So if that is in the cards for a certain hoe and a certain pimp, and they go off to the sunset together, so be it. But you know, I've seen some happy endings. I have.
So you mean to tell me there's a possibility that a pimp can fall in love with his hoe? It's possible. Every now and then.
You know, they end up with a little family. Family, some little trick babies.
They have some trick babies.
You know what a perfect transition career for a pimp is?
What's that?
Preacher. Get up on that pulpit, spit the game, learn the word. You know what I'm saying? Get saved a little bit.
Wow. Well, I mean, it's an actual natural transition.
Yeah, you don't got to take your jewelry off. You ain't got to change your wardrobe.
You just got to learn the Bible.
You ain't got to change your walk. You can ride the same whip. You just got to speak it with conviction and mean it.
And it's tax-free.
And usually, if you go far off into that world and you look that beast in the eye, you will get saved.
You know what, brother?
When I see a lot of ex-pimp preachers,
you're not gonna be spitting all this game on my show, man. Cause you spit game right now. I seen your fingers move a little bit. He was like, baby, you can talk to that bass right there. What?
I'm saying, man. You got to think about it though, man. Literally, like a pimp get too far in the dark, man. One of your hoes get murdered or something, or just bad things happen, man. They should have run your ass straight up in the church. And you know what I'm saying?
All right, I got a question for you. I'm a young guy. This is a scenario, and I'm learning the pimp game. What kind of boot camp would I go to get my pimping together? Like, what could I learn in a 6-week course on how to really pimp this game? Give me a couple rules.
As far as my understanding, the best way to a crash course to being a pimp is to have a seasoned hoe choose up on you and teach you on the fly. Like a lot of pimps was made by
a woman. So you mean to tell me I gotta go search and scour to find a seasoned hoe to teach me the game?
At the same time, you're gonna be learning the isms that she wants to give you because you her young fly new nigga.
Okay.
She might recruit you another one or two, and it might give you some lines and reel them in, and then the family looking good. Next thing you know, you got 3, and then you learning on the fly. That's a quick crash course. I mean, another way is to really put your game down, and you come up with a couple of girls that's with you.
Okay. So come with a 2-piece.
I want to follow disclosure. I don't want anybody listening to try to be a pimp. Like, no.
This is all hypothetical.
So you get
I've always wanted.
You get you a couple of them. You put them to work. You get out there amongst the sharks, and they just take them from you. That'll give you a crash course on getting your shit together quick.
Right, because if somebody steal your hoes real quick, you got to go back and get them.
That's like when you get your brand new bike for Christmas and stolen at the park. Yeah, you're like, that shit will never happen again.
No, you will never. Okay. So now here's a scenario. Okay, let's say this is pimpdom right here for the people that are watching. This is learning how to pimp this game.
Having a good job and being a player is more fun than pimping. Pimping is hard, but
it's very stressful. Seems like being a pimp is very stressful.
You're a therapist.
You need a therapist. You making harsh decisions every now and then.
You a spouse, a parent.
The player gets to have more fun, obviously, right? And not have to worry about the the getting of the money and all the different
so these
things.
pimp scenarios is it's very particular. Pimping to fuck your life up.
Yeah, so we gotta relax.
It ain't for everybody.
It ain't fair. So for the people that are listening and you really want to be a pimp, just take your time. It's a lot of pitfalls in there. Let's talk about collaborations, because people probably don't want to just go do the research. You have worked with damn near everybody you ever wanted to work with. I don't understand this now. You've been doing this 30 years, okay?
30
you
plus.
have 30 plus. You have pulled the Bay Area, put it on your back and start running forward. You have worked with E40, Lady Gaga, Snoop Dogg, Big, Chris Brown, Drake. I mean, it's endless. It's
Tupac.
I mean, which collaboration that you was like, yo, man, that was just unbelievable?
Well, E40 is my #1 collaborator. Like I have more songs with him than anybody else. We actually did a project together, a double album.
Right.
And now we're in a group together, Mount Westmore.
We're gonna talk.
We're gonna
about
get to that. So
okay.
we got a lot of songs. So I got a lot of good memories. We shot a lot of videos. We did a lot of shows together. So a lot of good memories with 40. What my really good friends that I make music with, multiple songs. Scarface, always classic. When we get in the studio, we made that fuck faces. You must be used to all the finer. That shit. My guy Pimp C. I love, when Pimp C was alive, man, I love being in the studio with him because he's the kind of guy who walks in the room with a beat, already ready to go, jump in the booth, throw a little medley on it, a little melody and the hook and shit.
And you run it.
And we in there. So he come in there with an idea. All you gotta do is light one up. Eric Sermon, good friend of mine. We were neighbors in Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
And,
Sermon.
And we got in the studio quite often. We got some joints together. And I mean, it's a lot of. Okay. I got to talk to you like a comedian, right?
Okay.
So in the comedian world, man, the comedy
Absolutely.
world, there's a certain same thing amongst MCs that flow and people who make good songs.
Right.
It's just, I know I'm comfortable. You good. You do what I do. We do it. If we was to collab on writing jokes together or doing a headline and a show together,
Right.
I'm good because I know you. And it's a certain people, the earthquakes and the motherfuckers you fuck with. You don't got no flaw. You don't got the background check. Like if I'm on the bill, he on the bill. Y'all finna have a good show.
This show gonna be crazy.
Yeah, you don't never hesitate. I have a lot of artists like that, producers and artists. When you end up in the studio with them, you just get on autopilot because they do what you do.
And it's gangster.
And it's like, man, it's like, where are we going with it this time? And you never, like, if I'm in the studio with Snoop Dogg, we're never going to run dry or have nothing. Yeah, it's just,
I honestly, bro, I honestly miss my days going to the studio with the Katz.
hey, y'all comedians should do what us rappers do. We're going to the studio to make a song together. Somebody start smoking some weed. And like, you should listen to this shit I made like not too long ago. I play you about 7 songs. Then you like, oh yeah, I've been working on some shit too. You play me about 10 songs. Next thing you know, we ain't working on shit. We just smoking weed. And listen to the songs. Could you imagine if y'all went in the studio together?
With jokes, we do that. I had one of my guests was T.I. and and T.I.'s doing comedy, and T.I. came to the show and he had an idea on a joke. And so he goes on stage and does the joke, and then when he comes back, I punch it up with him. And it was just same. It's like, yo, I got a verse for you. Is it like that the way y'all do it? That's how we do it. Be like, yo, man, when you say this, you could go right here, and he'd be like, yo, that's dope.
Yeah, that's how you do it, man. You just trust.
We trust each other,
Trust and believe.
and you feel the vibe, and the weed's got to be good.
Definitely, the weed is so much a part of hip hop. It's just so much a part of it. Like a lot of rappers don't smoke, but the smoking is part of the environment.
It creates the energy, the quality.
E40 is an off and on smoker. Like smoke for 2 years, quit for 5, smoke for 1, quit for 2. Like I don't know what the rhyme or reason is of when it is and when it ain't, but even when you're around him and he's not in smoke vibe, it might be some smoke in the air. One of the homies is still blowing. He's still, if you ask him like roll one, he probably got a little stash.
Right, a little something that he's on reserve.
I ain't blowing, but I got something from a company, that type of shit.
Lamont from outside, too short, wants to know, what's the best investment advice you got for someone who just got cash?
Don't give it to your girlfriend.
Don't give it to your girlfriend.
The jewelry in the car, it's gonna fade away too with the chick, you know?
Right.
Best investments, man. For some new, it's like that's like
Somebody new.
What kind of money though? Like,
Yeah, what kind of money you want to bet?
Okay, let's say 5K.
Say you got $5,000. I would say this is a question that we have from the audience. I just came into some money and I want to invest in solid stocks. Don't try to get rich off your first one. Invest in, stuff like Visa. Where money at? Where money is not going nowhere. Costco. People go to Costco all the time.
you talking about the safe stocks?
Yeah, just safe stuff so the first one you won't get burnt and you feel like you just lost your ass. You know what I'm talking about? Now, if you jumping over to crypto and this and that, and you put all your money in this one stock, and sometimes they just go left.
Yeah, you drop the 5 G's in the right startup and wait a couple years
And sit down. Just sit down. Take their 5 G's and sit down. Ride it out.
I subscribe to the hustler format, and that's just like however you got that money. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you should invest your money. You should try to stretch it or whatever, but you got to keep hustling and be confident that you can keep making that money.
Right.
And then you like making it, you putting this there, that there. You got to have those multiple irons in the fire.
Absolutely.
Because that one thing I don't know a lot of people that just made it on that one thing.
Yeah, I mean, you look at my career, right? You look at me. I've done so many multiple things simultaneously. That's how I've been able to be in the game 28 years. You know what I'm saying? So if I just was relying on just movies, that's it. You know how much money I would have missed?
You gotta do comedy albums, you gotta do tours, you gotta do movies, you gotta do businesses on the side. You gotta
be an owner in Breakbeat Media.
Exactly.
You gotta understand how to do collaborations with the right people and create a platform for the culture. You gotta learn how to be a marketing person, learn how to invest in yourself. Like
some people, that 5 G's, if it's that small amount, you might just reinvent yourself and come back at it. It can make your hustle better, you know what I'm saying?
Hey man, and make sure you get a lot of hoes. All right, so that's what he wanted to say. So hey man, only on top.
We call them pimp'n tools.
Well, this new project you have that everyone's excited about. We've been hearing whispers about it. The Mount Westmore project. Can you break it down for me and the name and the relevance of what it is?
So the name obviously comes from Mount Rushmore,
right?
Which is the great 4 white guys on there.
On the mountaintop.
I can't name. I know George Washington, one of them. I can't name. Probably Lincoln and Washington and somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. It's Mount Rushmore.
Nobody could ever name all 4.
Right, we can't. No. Let's try. It's Lincoln.
I named 2.
George Washington.
Thomas Jefferson, probably.
Thomas Jefferson.
If I had to guess.
And who are we missing?
They can't never name the 4th one, but I'm going to guess.
LeBron. No.
I'm going to say his last name is...
looking at me.
I'm going to say because the 4th guy's last name is Adams. I'm guessing. I doubt it. I don't know. Who's the 4th guy on Mount Rushmore?
Garfield. Who we got?
Roosevelt. Washington, Lincoln,
Jefferson. There you go. And that's
we missed Roosevelt.
Yeah, it was Roosevelt, but it's not that Jefferson. It's Mr. Jefferson from the Jeffersons. But anyway, so
George.
so
the name comes from Rushmore.
Okay, Mount Westmore.
And the idea actually was born in a conversation between E40 and his manager, and they was just chopping it up during the quarantine, mind you.
Absolutely.
Not the pandemic.
The quarantine.
When everybody's at home, not going nowhere. And 40 figured, this is how he tells the story. He figured in his mind how he could make this happen because they visualized all 4 of us doing the project based on the fact that we do a lot of shows together.
Okay.
We're always on the same bill. Like, dang, y'all always on the same bill. What if I was in a group together? And then that bill would be, bigger and better. So he said, I figured the hardest one to convince was going to be Ice Cube. So he called Cube first, and they had a short conversation about it. Cube immediately jumped on board, and before they could even get off the phone, Cube was the one that yelled, I know the name for the group, Mount Westmore. He came up with that right off the head, first conversation. So now,
That's so ill.
40 got the idea. Cube came with the name, and they literally called me on the phone together. So, I mean,
How we gonna say no to that?
yeah, I mean, like, it's a phone call, it's a quarantine. I ain't did shit in who knows how long. Like, I'm in, boy. Like,
Let's go.
we going for one last rodeo, whatever. I'm like, I'm coming, let's go. Like
Get the horses. We going to Mount Westmore, baby.
fucking bucket list movie or some shit, I don't know. But then they called Snoop. And Snoop was like, man, y'all my OGs. I grew up on all y'all. I'm like, not in the group. I'm in the group. Hell yeah. Snoop is so crazy, man. Every blue moon, he turns to us and said, man, thank y'all for letting me be in the group.
Are you?
Like, nigga, you a superstar.
But that's how. But you got to understand, man. Snoop is so humble, and he's one of those guys that appreciates all the flowers of his life. You could tell.
And his thank you is very sincere. Because he's
Yes,
like,
it
man,
is.
y'all don't understand, man. I grew up listening to fucking Ice Cube and Too Short and motherfucking E40 been a part of my life. He's like, man, I love this shit. And we get on stage, we've done quite a few shows together.
It's got to be crazy electric out there, man.
And all I can say, I don't want to tell too much about it, but it's probably going to be one of the greatest shows you ever see. The show is 2.5 hours long, and we have to like rush and compact and you know, to fit in enough, you know what I'm saying?
Just
Like,
to make it fit, so
Yeah.
so it's moving. Pow, pow, boom,
each
boom.
one of us regularly do a 1 hour plus show by ourselves.
Right. So you just probably everybody do 25 to 30 and boom, 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 boom.
And we couldn't imagine doing a 4 hour show, but we could.
Where could people go to check it out at? So they can go. Is it going to be online? Is it going to be listed?
We just did a major run, hitting a lot of cities, but that was like phase one. We went out in the early phase late last year.
Okay.
And did like 3 shows and just tested who we are and how we could do it. And then we were like, okay, we thought about it, and they built a stage set, and they just fine-tuned it, man. And we went out and did probably like another 15, 20 shows, and now it's like a machine. So,
man.
For whatever scheduling reasons, we're going to fall back, drop the album.
Right.
You know, these guys got like movie commitments and all kind of shit. So we got to like, everything's got to be timed out. So this is the part where we kick back, we dropped the first album. We recorded like 45 songs.
God damn.
And out of them 45
Excuse me, I don't know
songs,
if you can curse on top billing.
all 45, I've been cursing the whole time.
Oh, okay, my bad.
We opened up with Pimps and Hoes.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Out of those 45 songs, there are truly 2 dope albums recorded. It's done. No touch up needed. Just need to, you know, whenever, you know, put
Mix
it together.
a little
project.
something, this,
So
that, the other.
project 1 is done. It's coming out really soon. I think next month to be precise.
Oh man.
It's dope. It's a lot of visuals. I could show you for reaction purposes
Okay.
a video.
Hey
Cause
yo.
Q
Hey, I'm just gonna tell y'all.
he just sent it to
Mount
me.
Westmore is on the way, and it's exclusive on Top Billing. I'm just telling you, this is exclusive. I wish we had to.
just so you can see, because we got Cube vision. Ice Cube is our visionary. So
Oh man.
he making our videos are movies. The first video, Big Sub Woofer was dope.
Oh.
But this next one, the next visual we're dropping, we're spending like a lot of money. It's the new days where, you know, we get sponsorship, partnerships and stuff where the big budgets is coming not out of your pocket. The niggas in the group is so rich, we ain't signed no label or nothing.
It's all independent.
But look at the cinematography. Look at the.
It's a movie.
I'm telling you, like, that's what's coming. That song right there is called Free Game. That's the next single. You can put it by the microphone a little bit if you want. I'm showing in the video right now, y'all.
Hey, y'all can't even. This is free game. This is exclusive on Top Billing. It ain't even hit the street. Yo, I feel so good right now. Hey man, I'm so blessed to be a friend of yours, man, and I'm blessed that we have this just kinship, man, brother to brother, king to king, man.
Yes, sir.
You born to win, man, and you got to continue to win, and you top billing.
Motherfucking
You motherfucking right.
Top billing literally means when you're on the show,
Yes.
your name's on top of everybody else's.
Holla! You get it. Hey, this is Too Short on Top Billing. Make sure y'all get ready for that Mount Westmore Pimp. Get your pimp game up. Learn how to pimp the game. If you ain't gonna be a pimp, you better be a player. My name is Bill Bellamy. We out of here, baby.
That was a dope ending.
You know I know how to do this
You ain't
shit.
gonna be a pimp, you gotta be a player.
Exactly.